So today's book is The Invention of Hugo Cabret by Brian Selznick. It is a Caldecott Medal winner, and really just a fascinatingly written book. This book is very different from most that you will pick up. It's basically, there's not much to actually read. It's probably about the size of a Dr. Seuss novel, like the little Dr. Seuss book, actually, but you see how thick it is. That is because there are, and I just happened to open up to one, pictures. These brilliantly done pictures. And there's a purpose and a reason for them. The book is about this kid named Hugo Cabret, and he is basically been orphaned completely, and he was abandoned by his uncle, who was supposed to take care of him, but before his uncle abandoned him, he was taught how to take care of the clocks in the Paris train station. So the kid is still taking care of the clocks so that he doesn't get caught and taken to the orphanage, which is what he's afraid of. And so anyway, as the other thing that he's doing while he's hanging out is his dad found an old automaton, which is like a little robot thing that apparently a lot of magicians made back in the, I guess this would be the early 1900s. Apparently a lot of magicians made automatons because I guess magicians were just really, really smart back then. You don't think of magicians as being like the smartest people and like knowing engineering stuff, but apparently they were. And so he has this thing and he's trying to figure out how to fix it because it doesn't work. And it's sitting at a little desk with like a little place to put a pen in and like a little place to put an ink pot in, so they know that in the end it's going to make something on a piece of paper, like perhaps write out a message of some kind. And so he really wants to fix it and find out what the message is, and I'm not going to give away any more than that. But through all that, you learn also a little bit about the filmmaking industry of the early films. And it's honestly, all of these components are extremely well woven. You have the Hugo, who is a great character, who you definitely feel a connection to, even though, as I said, there's not a lot of dialogue, not a lot of actual words, but you feel a connection to him as a character. Definitely in that kiddie book way. It's not like he's a deep character, but you feel that connection with him and you want him to do well. He ends up befriending a couple people. They're pretty good characters, and you really just, there's nobody that you just hate. They all have their little flaws, but they're all have they're just very three-dimensional characters. They have flaws and they have good points, and it keeps you on your toes because you never know. You can never just judge somebody by what they look like or what they originally present themselves as, which is of course a excellent way to make books and characters. Like, that's the way they're supposed to be. And the deal with the pictures, we'll discuss those for a moment. This being a book about the filmmaking industry, it's trying to evoke a certain mood. It reminded me of Night Circus in that way. It's trying to use a lot of imagery to evoke a certain mood, but whereas Night Circus, which I haven't talked about, Night Circus is a book that I read a while ago. Night Circus uses a lot of colors and vivid descriptions to do that. This book is just using pictures in the same way that film does, to evoke mood and to kind of show you how the feelings of it's hard to explain. I'm never good at doing movies, but it's kind of showing you the overall mood instead of telling you. So it's a visual component to a book then it's different than just a picture book like you read when you were a kid. Like, these pictures are used specifically to show you what's not more than just like what's going on, but show you how the characters are feeling and how, and by extension, you are supposed to feel. They're very well done, beautiful drawings. There's tons of them, and that's what makes this book so long. But I mean, you can read it in a few hours. Like, you can read all of this in a few hours because it's mostly drawings. And the storyline is really helped along by these pictures, and then it also drops in a few not drawings, like things that really actually happened, which is cool because it gives you this sense of history. It gives you this sense that what you're reading actually took place. Of course, Hugo Cabret is a fictional character, but he does run into some non-fictional characters, which gives it, again, this sense of history. It's extremely well done. It's does very well at, again, evoking the mood, setting the tone. Its characters are excellent. It's for a children's book. It doesn't really seem like a children's book. There's never any point where you feel like you're being talked down to. It's basically an adult book, just, you know, a little shorter. So it's very good. I would totally suggest that you pick it up. The movie is also very good too, and does a good job of doing basically the exact same thing that the book does. It captures the same moods and the same elements. And I think one other thing that I wanted to talk about is that the movie pulls out a little bit more of the philosophical musings in this book. There's a lot of things, not a lot of things, because as I said, that's not many words, but there's just little beautifully written little parts that are talking about the world and our purpose in it. And that's part of what makes this book seem so much more mature than it was actually written for. I think that anybody of any age can enjoy this book and appreciate it and appreciate what it's talking about. It's just really well done, and I totally recommend it. Next book that I'm going to be reviewing for next time is a book you may not even know exists. Jurassic Park was a book, guys, and it's a really good book, and I'll talk about it next time because people need to read it, dang it. Alright, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.